Rhodes Show. Turn up your mind.
The political media's obsession with January 6th suggests they're not actually paying attention to the concerns of everyday voters.
You want to sweep it under the rug like I don't want to talk about this any more than anybody else. But my God, you got to look into it, JD.
When the barbarians were at the gate, you were happy to let them in.
There were people who behaved very badly on that day. I was not one of them.
Miss Abrams is going to lie about my record because she doesn't want to talk about her own.
I have to have conversations with the entirety of Georgia. I don't have the luxury of being a part of a good old boys club.
Debate night in Ohio, Utah, and Georgia with the midterms exactly 3 weeks away. Things are getting a little heated.
Yes, they are. Last night, I have to tell you, the Evan McMullen, Mike Lee, that was just one for the record books. That was classic. It was unbelievable. It was direct. It was to the point. McMullen, who, this guy is no Democrat. Okay, it's Utah. You understand. McMullen is an ex-CIA agent, and Mike Lee is a Putin bootlicker, a Trump bootlicker. A guy whose legacy is going to be fake electors. And McMullen just went at it in such a professional, clear, concise way. That is how you do it. That is how it needs to be done. It was a magnificent performance by the independent Evan McMullen. You can't be a Democrat, apparently, in Utah. I don't think that's possible. I don't even know if they have a Democratic Party in Utah. I'm kidding. Don't call me. I'm kidding. Kidding. But he ripped Mike Lee a new one last night over, everything that he did. The quack election plot, the fake electors, the tweets he sent, it was amazing. Amazing. So I thought we might review just a few little portions of this debate so that if you're ever in the position where you have to debate Mike Lee, you'll know how to do it.
I certainly think it's important that we protect voters' rights and that we protect the peaceful transfer of power, Senator Lee. But for you to talk about the importance of the Electoral College, I think is rich. I think you know exactly how important it is. And I think you knew how important it was when you sought to urge the White House that had lost an election to find fake electors to overturn the will of the people. Senator Lee, that was the most egregious betrayal of our nation's Constitution in its history by a U.S. Senator, I believe, and it will be your legacy. Oof. Senator Lee is still casting doubt.
And it's true, that it has the weight and the ballast, it has the grounding and the truth. Mike Lee on Election Day texted Mark Meadows, and the text actually said, quote, "The nation is depending upon your continued resolve. Stay strong and keep fighting, Mr. President." And then he implored Meadows to have Trump meet with the very unhinged, now being sued for $1 billion, Sidney Powell. He wrote, quote, "Sidney Powell is saying that she needs to get in to see the president, but she's being kept away from him." This is Mike Lee writing to Mr. Mark Meadows, the chief of staff to Donald Trump on Election Day. He said, "Apparently she has a strategy to keep things alive and put several states back in play. Can you help get her in?" Okay. And he stood on the stage last night and lied about that. Lied about the fact that he, with his constitutional, awesome constitutional mind, he actually reviewed the Constitution and decided to look for weaknesses in it that Donald Trump might be able to exploit. And that is clearly what Mike Lee's position was throughout this bloodless coup attempt and then the actual bloody coup attempt. And McMullen actually said to him, and I don't know if you know this or not, Mike Lee voted for Evan McMullen, in 2020 over Donald Trump. And now all of a sudden, Mike Lee got sucked into the Trump vortex of bullcrap, and now he's just bootlicking Donald Trump's, jackboots. And it's just so weird and sad, and we just don't know what it is that Donald Trump does to these people that makes them do 180s like this, where you could be texting like J.D. Vance did, this guy could be Hitler, and now you're saying, let me kiss your ass some more. No one knows what the, actual magical spell that Donald Trump casts upon these people is. But McMullen pointed it out just magnificently last night.
I think about the men and women who I served with in the CIA, who left the warmth of their homes and the love of their families to risk their lives, not knowing if they would ever come home, in order to stop terrorists who were intent on destroying freedom in America. I think about all the men and women, the 14 generations of Americans who have sacrificed for this grand experiment in freedom. They trusted you. We trusted you. And with that trust and with your knowledge of the Constitution, Senator Lee, you sought to find a weakness in our system. You advised the White House, find an alternative slate of electors for Trump to overturn the will of the people. That's what you said. You said that the president should listen to legal quack Sidney Powell. Please make time for her. Let her in, you told the White House chief of staff.
You did.
You told the president that you were working overtime, 14 hours a day, I think you said, to unravel this for him. To keep a president who had been voted out of office according to the will of the people in power despite the will of the people. Senator Lee, it is a betrayal of the American Republic. You were there to stand up for our Constitution, but when the barbarians were at the gate, you were happy to let them in.
Oh my God. Mwah.